Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to draw women. Now, I've gotten this question before, and while I'm not an expert, I have picked up a few things in my time that have led me to draw women way better than I started out. So first I'm going to show you how to construct the female body in a simple fashion. Now keep in mind, this is my general style. I like to keep things simple, mostly just because I do a lot of animation, and simple is better. I made a video just recently about how to draw anatomy in general, so that would also help you in this video. This is like a part 2 to that. So if you know everything in that video, you'll be able to handle this one way easier. But you do not need to watch the previous video. You can just absorb this one. So basically, I start with this oval type shape for the waist area. I like to draw up a center line just for the spine and everything. Then from this oval shape here, I will curve it up almost like a teardrop, like this. So we have a shape kind of like this, okay? Then from right about this line here, I will curve outwards with lines like this. And then at the top, I'll just come around like this. Now, this is usually the female torso shape that I use, and then I'm going to divide this up to make it easier to know where things go. So, this line is for the top of the chest, like the chest bone area, and then I'll make a line here for the bottom of the chest area. Then I'll put a line here for the waistline, and I'll turn this shape into a triangle here. Then I will draw the legs, and I'll curve them slightly, put in the knee joints, and there we go. I'll bring this spine line up and add the head. I'll add the neck. Always draw female necks skinnier than you would male necks, even if you're drawing more muscular female characters. I'll do the shoulder here. And general thing to keep in mind when drawing women is to soften everything and thin everything down to keep that feminine look. Even if you're drawing a more muscular woman, you'll find that they're way softer than the male form is, just naturally. So I'll put the arms like this, mitten hands, if you know, you know. And then I'll put in the arms right here. This is just very simple. I like to keep things simple here. And then for the legs, I'll come out from this hip area. I'll widen it a little bit and then swoop it down. So I'll do like one of these. And then I'll bring the leg back up with a nice curve so it'll look like this to capture that nice shapeliness. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. I'll add the calves here. And women generally have wider hips. There's always a taper in the middle here, and then it widens back out again up here. So now we get to the breast area. How I draw that is I just use one boxy shape. So the female breast is connected to the pectoral muscle, actually. So you don't just want to draw like random circles that won't look right. They have more of a shape to them, so I'll usually start from, I'll use red here just to illustrate. I'll start from this sort of like the center of the chest here, just underneath the, where the pectorals meet the shoulder, which is usually right here. So I'll start right from here, and I'll usually just make a shape like this. I'll make just one, well, that wasn't the best, we'll do that again. So just one shape like this, starting from the center of the chest and going just underneath the chest. I actually learned this from studying the Jujutsu Kaisen manga and breaking down how they do their anatomy, and it just works the best for me. You're gonna wanna take this shape and just kind of cut into it a little bit like this, and give it a little bit of shape here. There you go. That pretty much covers it. Now, you can do a lot of things to this. You can bring in the taper more of the waist. You can widen the hips. You can narrow them. You can mess around with this basic construction to get any build that you want. And this is basically just how I construct my female characters. Now, this is just the basics. To get good at drawing women and draw them better, I always say use reference. Use reference of real women and reference of stylized women. I always like to do that. And have a lot of them. Sometimes I'll blend references to get the desired outcome. I have so many. Anytime I see a good drawing of a woman or a good pose or something like that, I always save it, especially if it's an area that you struggle in. Like, for me, it's the faces. Although I've gotten a little bit better, I like to always have references for that. I can blend references together. So if I have a certain face angle that I like, so I'll take this one here, and I can just kind of look at that and construct my face like this and try and capture that similar shape. That's good for that. And then let's say I want the eyes to be a little different. I want a different eye shape. I can take this reference here and just kind of use that to help me draw the eyes. Now, I'm sticking very close to the reference in this example just so you could see where and how I'm using them, but generally I'll take a drawing I've already made and then look for references to help me polish it up. I do that a lot, and basically, knowing this right here, the basic anatomy, I can draw whatever pose I want and draw however I want. Like if I want to draw a high kick, for example, it's more like a middle kick now. It doesn't look as high, but you get the idea. So I would usually draw something like this, and then I would grab references from everywhere just to polish up certain elements. So I'll grab a reference to help me draw the leg better. I'll grab a reference to help me draw the torso and the face, and basically just find references that help me polish up my illustration. So like for this one, let's say I'm having trouble drawing the lips and I want to find something that helps me do that in the style I'm looking for. I could grab this reference here and just kind of grab this right here. And maybe I like the eyelashes too on the bottom of that, the little pointy ones. I can add that in. And basically I just use a lot of reference blending over the base of the anatomy that I do know, and it helps me get really good results. And yes, you can't just do reference blending without knowing your basic anatomy, because otherwise you're gonna run into you're gonna plateau eventually, because you can't find a reference for everything, and sometimes you can't get the pose out of your head correctly if you're just relying on the perfect reference in the first place. So let's say for the hair, come away from the stylized reference for a minute and go to some real life reference. This is how I would kind of blend these situations. Let's find something good, something that I like. I have a lot of references. I'll use this one right here. We'll just use this one. And so I will use this to help me draw the hair. And now I'm not sticking to the reference one-to-one. I'm literally just glancing at it, getting a basic idea, and lightly referencing it, okay? You do not want to just copy one-to-one. You want to kind of use it to get your idea out. And sometimes when you're copying one-to-one, it'll actually not come out how you want it to. Trust me, I do know this from experience. Even the hair, like, I have to change it a little bit to make it fit my character here, make it look the way I want. Like, I'll add some more messy strands here. And this gives me a really cool result. Now I can start adding some more details, and then I can just clean this up. If I wanted to, I could grab a reference for how I'm going to do the line work, but I think I know what I'm doing in that regard. So I'm going to clean up all of these drawings and then show you guys the result. Do a couple more examples at the end of the video, just so that you can kind of see how I would construct things, because if you know how to construct something, then you can draw it. If you can draw something from every angle, then you can animate it. So really just learning the construction is key, and you can work on making it look pretty later on. You can grab references for that. Just know your construction. Like, I can't stress this enough. If you want to find a different way to construct it, that's fine. And I encourage you, the best way to learn how to draw something, get a picture of it, a nice full body picture, and then break it down the way your mind can process it. I'll quickly show you guys what I mean by that. Let's take this drawing from Horikoshi Kohei that I found on Twitter, and this is how I would break this down if I want to learn how to draw. So let's say the way I construct bodies doesn't work for you, you can't quite understand it. You take a drawing like this, and you literally just break it down as if you were drawing it. So for me, I come from the pelvis here, I draw the spine line up. I always like to do that. Then I'll kind of draw the shape right here to kind of get the idea. I like to be quick and rough and loose when I do this, because if you take too long, you'll just end up tracing it, and you're not really going to understand the construction of it. So I'm going to stay really loose, do this really quick, and really focus on the construction. So not tracing it, but trying to add a skeleton to it, like I'm doing an X-ray, and ignoring all the elements of the costume and things like that. Just trying to see what's underneath this in a way that I can understand. And I'll add construction lines based on how I like to usually construct things, and so on and so forth. Then I'll come up here, and sometimes I'll change elements, like I'll thin the neck down a little bit, because I like the look of that a little better, just for myself. The face, I'll kind of break it down like this. And for something like this, you really don't need to do the hair. You can if you want to break that down. But really, we just want the construction of it. And here we go. This is how the body is constructed in this pose. I can also come across and do this. Get that shape in. And bam. This is how the body is constructed. Then I can take this and try to draw something else, kind of using this proportion. So I'll draw a kick again. Hopefully it comes out better this time. I'll kind of foreshorten it, and I'm trying to utilize similar shapes to the ones I'm seeing. And sometimes it takes a couple goes, you don't just get it right away. We'll do like an axe kick here. Maybe that's the ticket. And see, this is where I would grab another reference too, since this pose doesn't show me what the backside of her looks like, so I'm kind of winging it over here. But I'm still using what I learned from over here as a reference. So I'm gonna kind of quickly do this here. I'm doing this quickly so you could see how I would do it in real time. A little bit. If I was doing this just myself, I might take a couple extra passes, do a little bit extra studying, reconstruct the body a couple more times, but this is just so you guys can get an idea. And drawing a pose that has nothing to do with the original pose, it kind of helps you make sure that you're actually focusing on the construction of the body. And then you also find that you'll add parts of your own style into it as well, because when you're drawing a different pose, you'll have to let your own imagination take over a little bit and correct some of the things that don't look right because it's not a one-to-one reference. Like here, the way the torso connects to the hips, I'm just gonna adjust that a little bit. And pow, just like that, I've got a pretty decent drawing. It's a little rushed, a little rough, but you can see this is really just how I learned to draw everything. I use this method. Sometimes it takes more attempts than just this one right here, but I've been studying how to draw women for a little while, improving my skills, so this is the result. as I finish up, I'm just going to show you guys a time lapse of me cleaning all this up. I hope you can grasp the basics of drawing women. I have the construction here. I'll show you all 3 views, front, side, and back. I'll show a time lapse of that. I'll show you me cleaning up these. I'll show you all the references I used, and hopefully that does help you in your own journey to draw women. There's always more you can do. You can always get better, get more references, do more practices, do more draw-overs, do everything you need to do to bridge that gap of your own skill, and eventually, if you keep grinding at it, you will see results. I know sometimes people don't want to hear, oh, just get reference and practice, but that's really all it is. That's how I did it. That's how most people did it. But we have the benefit of having hundreds of thousands of talented artists at our fingertips. So we don't have to draw from live reference all the time. We can just take the stylized drawing, figure out how they did it a little bit, and just do it for ourselves. This will take you a long way, and I hope it helped. So I'm going to show you guys the rest of these time lapses. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. This was quicker than my other anatomy video, but that first one is kind of like the stepping stone to this one, so I felt like it didn't need to be as long. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, I recently put a poll out for like Batman versus blank. There are 30 votes right now, and I'm gonna start making the animation soon, so if you want to vote on that, go do it now. Joker's winning by a landslide. I did not think he would. I thought people would have like Joker fatigue and just pick like, I don't know, Superman or maybe even Red Hood or something like that, but I was pretty much like, people are just gonna pick Superman. I'm kind of happy with doing the Joker. I feel like I could make that work, but now is your chance. Bane could make a comeback. Red Hood could win. He's like 2nd place right now. So go and vote. You have like 3 or 4 more days before I start the animation. And yeah, check out these videos. I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys in the next video.